Testing, testing. All right, we're good to go. What's going on? This is Blake from the Sticky Buttons podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, I had to do a little test because I did a test stream yesterday, and I was streaming for like 45 minutes, and I just didn't have my mic on, so I was super gutted about that. But you know, life moves on. And today, oh man, today we're playing some Jurassic Pinball. Just wanted to share my experience with pinball video games and just maybe talk about the history of pinball a little bit. Yeah, this game is super awesome. I got it on sale for like a couple bucks. Definitely worth picking up. Like, only a couple people worked on this game. Like the credits, I think there are less than 10 people, so definitely worth checking out. And as far as pinball goes, you know, or as like pinball as a video game goes, I mean, I think this one's a pretty solid video game adaptation. Because obviously, you know, with pinball, like there's these huge, I guess tables is what you'd call them, and you know, not everything really translates well to a video game. But you know, I think this game does really well with, you know, translating the table of the video game, or the table of pinball, and the game of pinball to a video game format. And thankfully I got the ball save there. But I mean, I think this is really cool. I'm actually going to show you something really quick. You can change the perspective of, I guess, how you're looking at this pinball machine. And you know, I think that's awesome. I think that's a small little feature there that I think is really awesome. And they have another feature in this game that I think is really cool. And I discovered this because I got my ball stuck in the top of the pinball game, which is something that happens, you know, in real pinball. Like occasionally the ball will get stuck, and this thing called tilt. And it, you know, essentially like every pinball machine, like in real life, they have like a gyroscope on the underside. And when a ball gets stuck, or actually sometimes it's like a legitimate strategy to manipulate the board, it's called tilt. So I'll show you what happens when you tilt, and I just think it's pretty cool that this like game allows you to have that tilt. So I'll do it right there. And basically you tilt it and you manipulate the board. I'm trying to change the camera angle. Okay, so I guess we'll do the tilt from this angle. So yeah, so you see you can tilt the board and manipulate it, and I just think that's really cool that they allow you to do that in this game. But I mean, it's not really super practical, and actually it's kind of to your detriment in this pinball game, because it disables the flippers for a certain amount of time. So I've actually never been able to use the tilt and then successfully hit the ball again. So don't know if that was the intended purpose of adding tilt to it, but it definitely is cool that they add it to this game. So, like I said, I just want to talk a little bit about like my history with pinball games and pinball gaming. My first video game was actually a pinball video game. So I really have to give a huge shout out to my to my dad for getting me Pac-Man Pinball when he got me my Game Boy Advance SP when I was a wee lad. So I guess that's really what started this whole journey as a pinball game. So I think just because of that, I've always had a certain, I don't know if affinity is the right word, but certainly I'm more willing to try out pinball video games just because, you know, that's kind of how I got my start. But it is really hard to transfer the feel of actually playing the pinball game to a video game medium. But I'm kind of excited because with like the haptic triggers that are on the PlayStation 5 controller, like maybe we'll get a more realistic version someday. But actually, you know, this game does a pretty good job with it. I do really like it when pinball video games use I guess the actual triggers for the flippers of the pinball game, which is something this game does, and I do like that. You know, one game that doesn't do that is I think Pokemon Pinball, and I think they use the A and B button, and that's not something that I never really liked. That I always felt that it never really replicated the pinball experience all that well. And you know, now that I think about it, Pac-Man Pinball might actually do the same thing. Oh shoot! I guess I got Prey actually. So yeah, so if you can see at the top, what is that? Left-hand? Yeah, top left-hand corner. You'll see. You'll see, I don't really know how these missions work, but you can kind of see, I was starting a mission, I was trying to get the T-Rex mission, but I ended up doing, I guess, there's the mission Prey, and you can see the P-R-E-Y at the bottom, like to the left of the bumper right there, and you see the R lit up there, the E lit up there. It's not really too clear to me, how this works. Or, like, I guess what kind of missions you can get in this game. But I still haven't unlocked a multi-ball either, and I don't know if that's something that this pinball game has. I'm assuming it does, but I guess I just don't know. I haven't discovered that yet. But, you know, this game is actually, it's really cool, and it does something that, you know, like video game pinball games, they can do things that pinball games in real life can't. And one of those is, I mean, you can see this like velociraptor thing at the bottom moving around there. And the dinosaurs in the back, they're kind of animated and they're moving, and I think that that's really cool, and that's just not something that you can have in a real life pinball game. But let's see if we can get this T-Rex here. I have not gotten it yet. I feel like I always choke at the last one. Oh, that was almost it. Alright, let's see if we can get the X. Oh man. Alright. Oh, shoot. Okay. Alright, this is it. This is the one. Oh. Well, I guess someday I'll get the T-Rex. But today's not the day, I guess. So if you weren't aware, the history of pinball kind of has I don't know, I think it has a cool history at least. And it kind of gets its start in I think it's like the 1920s is kind of when modern pinball as it's known today kind of got its start. And I think originally it was kind of seen as a luck-based game. And I think that was actually like a pinball prior to the flippers. So like as you can see, the flippers are here, but I think that prior to adding the flippers, they just had this the lever where it shoots out, where the ball shoots out. And I think it was kind of like a luck-based game. Where you tried to get like a silver ball into holes, and it essentially was kind of like a slot machine or something like that before they added the flippers. And then once they added the flippers, it became a skill-based game. And I just think it's kind of funny because pinball was outlawed, I think till like the 80s maybe. I mean, I don't know. I think it was the 80s, and I think that they had to have a. It seems really late though. Maybe I got that wrong. Maybe it was the 60s. I think it was the 60s, now that I'm thinking of it. But yeah, so they basically were outlawed because they were seen as gambling machines. Or slot machines, so to speak. And, after, I think there was a court case where they brought in somebody that got a really high score. And I think it was just determined to be that it could be skill based, and after that I think legislation became a little less stringent on pinball as a as a game instead of a gambling game. But yeah, I mean, I think that this game is really awesome. You know, definitely worth supporting. It's a small team, and I've had a lot of fun with it personally. Jurassic Pinball. I think the art's really cool. I mean, I do wish that it was a little clearer how to get some of these, I guess some of the rewards on the, or I guess the missions. Because I mean, I've played this a couple times. I haven't got the T-Rex yet. Maybe I just need to get better at this board. But also, there's something on the side. You can see I'm cracking these eggs. See, I got 2 right there. Let's see if I can get that last one on that side. I got some on the other side as well. And I don't really understand the prey. I keep getting points for the prey, but I don't really understand how that works. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might have to do with when you hit the lever. I'm not quite sure. I wish that was a little clearer, but you know, maybe that'll come with time and playing the game. But overall, it's a very fun T-Rex. Almost got it. I guess that's my elusive mission in this pinball game. Oh. Okay. Oh, I think I got it. Did I get it? I thought I got it. I guess that's it. I don't know. I wonder if I just got like a certain score for it. I didn't see what happened. But one thing that I do kind of wish that, I don't know, maybe stayed was like the eggs. I don't think I've gotten all the eggs in one go, which are on the sides. Yeah, not too clear about that either. And there's also all those lights at the top, and I'm assuming that those different routes, if you do them, looks like if you do them twice. I mean, you can see that the T-Rex is lighting up, so I have to complete the T-Rex, which is right in front of the ball. You can see that little arrow that's blinking. I think that I have to complete that, and then you can move on to other missions, but I don't know. Haven't quite figured that part out yet. But overall, I mean, it's fun, and you know, I am playing this on the PS5. I'm playing it with the PS5 controller, and I do think the haptic feedback feels really well. They don't use the oh man, what are the triggers called? I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're really cool. So essentially, if you're not familiar with the PlayStation 5 controller, the triggers, you should definitely, I think they're called haptic feedback, and I don't remember what the actual triggers are called. I think there's a name for it, but you should definitely look it up, because essentially, like, what there is inside of the trigger is there's a little screw, and it kind of sets the resistance, and it's really awesome. I think it really has changed the game as far as like how these controllers feel. So I mean, if you just Google like PlayStation 5 controller triggers, like maybe the inside or like specs or something, like you should be able to find like a diagram, and like it's pretty easy to see how the resistance is set. It kind of looks like an auger, honestly. It's kind of interesting, so I recommend anyone check that out. Yeah, I think I'll just finish up this game, and then I think I'll probably end the stream. That's really all I wanted to do, just kind of get on and say a few things about pinball and whatnot, and play some pinball, and, you know, we accomplished that. So, you know, actually, I think after we finish this game up, I think I'll show you the credits of this of the team that made this game. I think it's a great game, so I would definitely recommend it. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll just end this up, and I'll show you that. Oh, well, they saved my ball. But all right, so this right here, these are the, I guess, the credits of the game. So shout out to everyone here. I mean, this is a great game. I mean, it's definitely got a good vibe, very chill, very arcadey. I'd recommend it to a friend for sure. And that's, you know, that's kind of Jurassic Pinball. I had a great time with it. If you'd like to, if you get this game, you know, I am ranked. Currently, I'm ranked 231st in the world, so you can you can try and beat my score. You know, honestly, I think I was just, you know, kind of casually playing during the stream, and I think I had it up to 12 million. And as you can see, I mean, if you get up to 54 million, you could be in the top 10. So definitely cool, definitely worth picking up. So, I hope you enjoyed this stream, and I'll catch you in the next one.